9 ways to be a high-value woman that he will never leave. I'm Kevin Anthony. I am a certified sexologist, NLP practitioner, and sex, love, and relationship coach. And for over a decade, I have been helping men, women, and couples have the relationship of their dreams and the best sex of their lives. Okay, number 1 on the list, we're going to start with the foundation. This is just a foundational piece which we will build on, and that is balance your hormones. This is kind of a big deal in today's society. There are so many environmental factors between the water we drink, the environment that we're in, the food that we eat, that are absolutely messing with our hormones. They're messing with men's hormones also, but they're really messing with women's hormones. And so it's really hard to show up as your best self and show up in a way that is emotionally mature and stable if your hormones are out of whack. And a lot of people do not understand just how much their hormones are actually influencing their behavior. And they'll say things, that's just how I am, or that's just the way I do things, or whatever, not realizing that if they were actually able to get their hormones in balance, a lot of those behaviors would shift. And they're like, but I thought that's just was my personality. No, it turns out it was your hormones. I'm not saying everything is your hormones, but many things are. And once you can balance out those hormones, you will see that everything gets easier. Life gets a lot smoother. There are lots of ways to do that. I obviously suggest that you seek out a really good doctor who understands hormones, who can get you to the right tests to properly measure them, and then can really get you on a holistic protocol that will get your hormones balanced. I really feel that's really, really important. And a hormonally balanced woman, and I'm not saying flat, I'm not saying your hormones aren't going to change and you'll be exactly the same like a guy. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is healthy fluctuations of hormones, as opposed to flying off the handle, wacky, crazy one moment, depressed another moment, and just all over the board and unpredictable. So number 1 is make sure that you balance your hormones. Number 2 is improve your emotional intelligence. I have to say that for me, probably the most important trait I'm looking for in a woman is a woman who has a very high degree of emotional intelligence. That means she's aware of her emotions. She knows how to control her emotions. She doesn't fly off the handle. She's not radically unpredictable. I'm not saying she needs to be flat. I'm just saying that, if there's a challenging situation that comes up in the relationship, she doesn't just emotionally outburst. She recognizes how she's feeling. She takes a step back for a moment and then says, okay, here's what I'm feeling. Do I need more information? Should I just hold on to that instead of just blurting it out and saying something I might regret? Let me get more information, right? So somebody who is really highly emotionally intelligent is so important and so critically valuable to a healthy man. So let me also say that a man who does not have this, that as a high thing on his list of traits of a high value woman, is probably actually not the kind of man you want to date. If he doesn't value the emotional intelligence in his woman, then he's probably not very emotionally intelligent himself, which means he's probably not somebody you want to date. All right, number 3, praise him. One of the things that we men absolutely love to hear is, and I use the word praise, and some of you are like, oh, what, I gotta worship him? That's not what I'm talking about. But we love when women say things like, thank you for taking out the trash. Like, I really appreciated that you did that. Or, oh, when my necklace broke, when the clasp broke on it and you fixed it for me, I really appreciated that. And I appreciate how you're handy, like you know how to fix things. Little things like that. That's all I'm talking about when I say praise. Just recognize us for the things that we do for you, the ways that we step up and help you. Now, it's got to be real, of course, and if your man isn't stepping up and he isn't helping you and he isn't doing those things, I mean, don't just make stuff up, but hopefully you're with a quality man who is doing these things. What tends to happen as a man is if we are constantly stepping up and doing things and trying to make your life better and fix things for you and just help you in life and do all the things that a man needs to do, if we're really showing up in the relationship and we don't ever get any feedback about it, we start to resent it. We start to feel like we're doing all this stuff and it's not being noticed or recognized. And you understand this as a woman because it's the same way for all the things that you do in your relationship if he's not recognizing you. So this is something that we as men would actually see as being highly valuable. And if you asked a lot of men, they wouldn't necessarily put this on their list, but when they have it in a relationship, they're like, oh my God, this is amazing. How did I survive in relationships without this? Men will absolutely see this as very, very valuable. Number 4, be his number one cheerleader. This is really important. Now, in any relationship, I think you should both be each other's number one cheerleaders, right? So, again, the audience here is primarily women. I'm speaking to women on this channel, right? So I'm always going to be speaking from that point of view. But just know that, yes, he should absolutely be your number one cheerleader as well. What do I mean by that? Well, if your partner, the person who's committed to sharing their life in the deepest, most intimate ways, far more deep and intimate than any other human being, if they can't be your number one cheerleader, meaning supporting you, encouraging you, telling you what a great job you're doing, telling you, that they're there to support you with whatever help you need to be the best version of yourself, to do the things that you want to accomplish in life, then who is? If you can't rely on your intimate partner for that, then who can you rely on other than yourself, right? And, we can all do a great job of encouraging ourselves and being kind to ourselves and all of that. And that's great. And I highly recommend everybody do that. But at the same time, it's really, 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 really helpful to have other people in our lives. Now, granted, your parents are probably always going to do that for you to some extent. But for most of us as adults, your parent isn't around every single day, right? And they might even live across the country or in another country somewhere else. Maybe you only talk to them once a week, once a month, whatever it is. Even if you talk to them every day, it's really important that you as a partner be your partner's number one cheerleader, where you're encouraging them, you're supporting them, you are pumping them up on a regular basis. Number 5 is be the feminine pole. I mean, hey, we're at Magnetize Your Man here. Almost everything that we are teaching revolves around polarity in one way or another. And this is something, it's becoming more common, this languaging, because there's a lot of people out there teaching polarity stuff. Some of it not so great, some of it great. So it's starting to come into people's consciousness. However, I've noticed in the past, especially before this was really popular, that a lot of men wouldn't say things like, I want her to be the feminine pole, or even I want her to be super feminine. They're just like, I don't understand why, this relationship worked and this one didn't, right? The reality is polarity, right? And so I think it's becoming more common now, and I think more men are starting to realize what it is that they should be looking for in women. But anyway, that is you being the feminine pole. You really want to embody what it means to be feminine. It is the feminine aspect relative to the masculine aspect, that yin-yang combination that truly makes for great relationships. And so that's something that he's really going to value if you are really embodying that. Number 6 is be a team player. This is another thing that we as men really highly value. We go out into the world, and I know you ladies do too. You have jobs, you're out in the workforce, you're earning a living, you're experiencing this too. I'm just telling you from a man's point of view how it feels to us. We go out in the world and we're, working in these jobs, highly competitive environments a lot of the time, dog eat dog world, everybody stabbing each other in the back, right? Then we come home and we have to deal with more of that, meaning our partner's competing with us. Maybe they don't have our best interest. Maybe they're self-sabotaging us, right? We do not want to deal with that at all when we come home. We want our partner to be on our team player, 100% all the way. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to always agree with everything that your partner says. It just means you have to approach everything as a team, right? The two of you have to look at living life together and accomplishing the goals, your individual goals and your goals as a couple, as a team. How can you help each other? And there's plenty of competition out there in the dog eat dog world. When it comes time to our relationship and our home, we need to work together as a team. Number 7 is strive to make his world better. Again, let me just say up front, I think both partners should always be striving to make each other's worlds and lives better. Without a doubt. It's not just you trying to make his life better. He should be trying to make your life better also. But again, speaking to a primarily female audience, what I wanted to share with this one here is that a man is going to see it as high value if his woman is supporting him in ways that make his life better. Now, that could mean a lot of different things. It could mean anything from, keeping a clean house and, making him meals to something completely on the other end. It could be even, earning more money or something like that. Like, I'm not saying it has to be any one thing. I'm just saying that these are things that would make his life better, that he would see as, wow, this is actually improving my life. That being together with you actually makes my life better, not harder, right? Or not worse in some way. And that's really what coming together should be. When you come together as a couple, you should make each other's lives better. One of the things that holds a couple together is the fact that life is better together than it is apart, right? And it's really interesting. I had some friends many years ago who had been together for a long time, and when they got married, they made this sort of pledge to each other that they would stay together only as long as being together made their lives better and the world better. And at a certain point, it was about 11 years later or so, they realized that their relationship was not making their lives or the lives of anybody around them better. And so they decided to consciously uncouple. So, point simply being is you should be striving to make your partner's life better. Number 8, be sexy and flirtatious. This is definitely something that we love. When our woman is embodying her femininity and she's being sexy and playful and flirtatious every day, just in little ways, right? This is something that we absolutely love. It stokes our fire. It makes us happy. It makes us want to hurry up and come home and see you. And that's not the only thing, right? There are many other things that make us want to do that too, but this is one of those things that really stokes us and makes us really happy to be around you and to spend time with you. And that leads me to the last one, number 9, which is to nurture an active sex life. Successful couples have a healthy, flourishing sex life. Now, that can mean a lot of different things, and I know inevitably somebody will come and say, I'm 75 years old and we haven't had sex in 10 years, but we absolutely love each other and we have an amazing relationship. Yes, I know that that is possible. Probably because you nurtured a relationship for so many years and built such a solid foundation that you don't need that part anymore. But the data is pretty clear, the studies are pretty clear that successful relationships also have a healthy, successful sexual component to them, meaning the sexual relations within that relationship are healthy. They are fun, they are exciting, they are mutually satisfying. and that can vary, of course, right? So for some people, having sex, once a week or every other week is fine for them. When they do have sex, they connect, they enjoy it, it works for them, and that's great. For other people, they might need sex 3 or 4 times a week, but when they do it, they connect, they enjoy it, it's mutually satisfying. The point is to just nurture a healthy and active sex life. It is a very important part of a healthy relationship in general, and it's definitely a part that I hear pretty much every single man I coach say they are looking for. So remember, this video is about how to be a high value woman, meaning what are the things that a man really values that he will be looking for in a woman, and this is definitely one of them. All right, there you go. Those are 9 ways that you can be a high value woman. I hope that you found this helpful. And of course, please check out our free polarity quiz at polarityquiz.com. And you can also check out all things related to me on my website at kevinandceline.com/link in bio.